Hello, my name is Sean Gedney, and this is my capstone presentation. At my time at Renison College, I didn't realize that it was going to be such an inward dive as it has been. A lot of the times, you go to school and you don't think that you'll be able to mirror a lot of your personal and professional realms together. So I've done so in a way that I feel is quite eloquently done, and it just speaks to the coursework involved. My capstone presentation is a legacy herb garden, which I created with the help of my brother, who is a marvel in his construction abilities. So excuse me for the me holding the video the way it is. It is the only way I can think about recording it. So this legacy herb garden was spawned out of the idea of community building, and also from an example at my placement. At my placement, we had a legacy herb garden, which would be from the people who pass away at the residential hospice. We would have them, the staff especially, because it's a difficult workplace to be involved with. So we have to have a lot of debriefing activities. So one of the activities was to have a moment of silence for the person that passed away, and then after the person passes away, we would have the staff perform a moment of silence and talk about all their favorite memories of the person who had died. And then what would happen was people would sprinkle seeds in a little dish filled with dirt, and we would water it, and we would place it into our sunroom. And from there, these herbs would grow and become an addition and a part of some of the meals that were provided for the residents at the center and for some of the families. So it became a cyclical exercise of growth and death and renewal through these herbs. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to create my own herb garden. What I didn't realize, mind you, is that it takes quite the while to build a big replica of it, and I want to go big or go home. So it took me 8 hours to complete. Also, it cost just over $300 for the supplies, the materials, the screws, everything steel based is pretty expensive these days, and the herbs cost $80 as well. My initial design was a lot bigger, so I'm glad we scaled down the size. You can see through the development of it that the sides are tapered, and this helps to the design, which will be explained later. Everything has to be leveled and straight and not wonky, so we tried our best. We installed an irrigation system, which ensured that the root system could maintain itself, and also drainage holes throughout the bottom so the water can go somewhere. We had installed a membrane. It's a herb. It's a weed barrier around the perimeter of the project, and then also installed animal hardware net to increase rigidity and to hold the herbs once they're planted. We had added lattice, and then the lattice acts as a divider for herbs, but also a guide for different spotting planting. We installed heavy-duty casters, which will hold the weight of the project. The dirt and plants and everything's fairly heavy, so we needed heavy-duty wheels to do so. Increased lattices, and then we also put a cap piece on the top, and I'll explain later why that was done. We filled the interior with 4.5 large bags of soil and compacted along the way so we could have a good growing area. The cap top was removed. We've had 4 circular cuts. Also, the cap will allow us to keep bugs out of the project, and also it will be planting plants on the top. So this is the almost finished product. We have herbs planted out of the side at a 70 degree angle rate, and then also have various plants planted on top there, as you see. And this is the completed project. So I only planted one side because of the cost, but also to have future planting area for next year. So it became something that we could do again next year, me and my brother, and also something that we could do with my nieces, which are very young, and which would be a nice little growing exercise for them. So this project fulfilled a number of CASWI social work program competencies. But two of them I'd like to speak in depth of: employee critical thinking and professional practice. So logotherapy was a great base for my placement and the work that I do currently. For me, and after my dad died in 2008, I had a great deal of search for meaning. So I feel that going through the darkness to get to the light sums up really my journey as a professional and my personal and professional realms. So it allowed me to develop an innate gift of presence, which I already further develop an innate gift of presence, evolve my curiosity, intrigue into the end of life journey for clients, and I think to foster that growth in their journeys as well, because we have to provide autonomy and to develop that within our clients. Also, seven, participate in policy analysis and development. I noticed a gap. Not everyone wants to do talk therapy and comp therapies, and majority of those people are men. So I designed a building program for this project, which will be run in 2020 once my hospice is developed. And I think that through that we'll get a lot of people, and we'll reduce get a lot of people out of their homes and reduce isolation within the community, which is something that I see happens with men, maybe people who don't want to speak, and people who are relying on culturally supportive services instead of hospice and don't know about us, right? A number of social work values and principles from the Canadian Association of Social Works were used. Pursuit of social justice. Not everyone wants talk therapy, and the creation of legacy products can be done pre or post loss. Service to humanity. I noticed that not everyone feels comfortable speaking in front of others in a group setting. Care planning promotes individuality, autonomy, and reduces isolation for men, women, and older adults. And this can also be done in teens. Children is just a big project, maybe on a smaller scale, to teach the importance of growth. Could be replicated. Competence in professional practice. So legacy projects, I think they amplify our ability as social workers to cater to client need. A lot of the times we do talk therapy, and it's the thing that we're good at, and possibly play therapy. But is that to our benefit or to the client's benefit, right? So it just opens up a robust client offering, right? And so what this also does is a number of supports that my hospice has done recently is built-in offerings for families and communities to come together, and a lot of the times the building of community, to know that you're not alone in what you've gone through, is a very important task for us as social workers to do, and I think it's all about bringing positive return to families that are going through such complex symptomatology. Theoretical leaning. So I oftentimes use, again, I'm going back to logotherapy here, that human beings are all motivated by the search for meaning. We use dignity therapy as well. So what do you do in this life that may have a ripple effect into future generations? Oftentimes people are younger and older that are often struggling to put meaning to what they leave behind. So do you create a video? Do you create a herb garden like this? And also my father's ripple effect into my family has been imprinted here. I'll go on a little bit here because I know I'm running out of time. But motivational interviewing and the 4 conversations near end of life are also very important. They allow families to come together and to think about what's important for their loved one as they're passing. My rationale for doing this. So my father was an incredible person who had a lasting legacy onto many other people. His grandchildren were also a big part of me designing this project. So he volunteered a lot of his time through charitable donations, through volunteer work, and a lot of that has come off onto me. So I've been very, very impactful by it. And throughout the development of this master's program, it has allowed me to do an inward dive into the diverse layers of myself, son, social worker, uncle, and then amalgamated my personal and professional selves. I've really appreciated the opportunity for this project. I think that it's allowed me to dig a little deeper into what I can do for myself as well as for others, and to care for the people that surround me. I really appreciated this task. Thank you for reviewing, and we'll hope to see you in the long haul. Okay, take care. Bye bye.